Do you think about me too? Do you think about
automatic comments on, which I didn't mean to do. Hope y'all are doing well. I know I gotta check the levels real quick. Good Lord, why is that so loud? All right, hopefully y'all can hear me well. I'm gonna take these headphones off because that's loud for me. What's going on, folks? AJay, the CEO. Man, it has. I think I need to go on another vacation because, man, it's been crazy. Thank y'all so much, and I still never updated this. Hope y'all are doing well. AJay, the CEO here. We normally do this on Fridays to answer some of y'all's questions, but we've been busy, been on vacation, been bouncing around doing a lot of projects. So I'm gonna try and stay on here a little bit longer than we typically do. I started earlier than usual. But I hope y'all are all doing well. If I don't get to your question, know that y'all can hit me up at questions@ajayhomes.com. It seems like there was an issue with that as well too, but we got that resolved. I need to do an episode of just AJay Answers where I'm just going through answering people's emails that they've sent me if I missed it. Don't forget, folks, to join the Facebook group, or it's this all the time with other media ministries all over the world. Please let me know if my volume is sounding fine. It sounded fine to me, but just let me know. And if you don't mind, do me a big favor. Make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because that's the only way that you can send messages now. To avoid spam and all this other stuff, you have to be a subscriber to the channel to leave a comment on these live streams, and then hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to everybody there who's joining me today. And I need to turn my fan on because it got a little bit warmer than I thought. All right, another AJ Kumar, what is going on? Norm, hello. Parker, hello. Pathway Technologies, hello. Video Streams, hello. Paul, hello. Darius, hello. Brian, hello. Joshua, hello. Keith, hello. Reverend Richard, hello. Oren, hello. I hope y'all are all doing well. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna do a video about it, folks. It's like I don't know. I guess it's just the nature of things. Just like, a lot of us are getting robocalls, and it's like it's something that's outside of our control. Pretty much what this thing is, it was just a bot searching the internet for WordPress, and it just tried every single vulnerability that's available, and then it hit one, and then it was able to compromise all the other ones because it got access to the database, and then it was able to access everything else. I don't know how. I've been so far removed from being able to do some of that stuff. I know the concepts, but at this level, it was just frustrating. I honestly don't even know what the goal of it is except for just trying to piss people off. I mean, that's all it really did to me. But we're going to be rebuilding. I have my site that I'm in the process of rebuilding myself. I'm probably going to make it a lot simpler, and I'm looking at actually doing all of my digital media and everything like that is going to be on Squarespace. As much as I didn't want to, it just makes it more simple for me. So just to give you a little gander, this is currently the state of the website right now. All the other pages are actually offline right now, but we have contact information and everything like that, but I am in the process of rebuilding it. And for whatever reason, my time zone is not right. It keeps showing these crazy times, which is not accurate, but we're in the process. I got to build the churches over again, which isn't bad because I actually had some stuff for that. And I think I'm going to do something. I didn't show it. I had the video. I actually have a new Synology. I had the video. I just didn't put it together because it was annoying, and I just didn't finish it. But I have two Synologies here. The old Synology I had over at Antioch at the church. So what I think I'm going to do is have a backup of websites being pushed to that as well as online. So I have double redundancy for stuff like that. But be on the lookout for that video. I did drop a bunch of videos today because, like I said, I had been recording this entire week and I just haven't had a chance to upload it. So we dropped a whole lot of stuff this morning. But anyway, enough of me blabbing. If y'all have any questions, I am ready. Just fire away and we'll work at what we possibly can do to help you out. There is a video that I am going to work on. And again, y'all know I don't believe in competition. I believe in us collaborating and complementing one another. But there have been a lot of videos that I've been seeing addressed to the church and ministries on how to live stream. And I need to just cut through that because I still see a lot of people recommending DSLR cameras and things like that. In my personal opinion, I don't agree with that. But I just want to not rebut anybody, but I want to give a mindset of which cameras are being recommended and what's the pros and cons of each, because I think that will help a lot. For me, short order of the video, I like PTZs and I like camcorders because they were made for long form content. A lot of times when people are recommending DSLR cameras, they're not recommended. They're not really conducive for long use. That's why you see them either shutting down because the battery can't last that long. They overheat, stuff like that. And then there's the other scope of people that are recommending cameras that the body of the camera itself is like $2,000. And then the lenses are $2,000 to $15,000 each, which personally, hey, if your ministry's got it, go for it. I like to just give different alternatives. I don't want people to think that this is the only way you can do something. But hey, that's what we got. We got some other people that dropped in. Sean, what's going on? Sean wants to know, and I didn't have my NDI screen. I can tell you how long I've been out of the loop here. Let me wait for this to start up so I can read this. Sean wants to know, good morning. How was horseback riding? I always wanted to learn and add it as a hobby. Was this your first time? It's been a long time since I've been horseback riding. Probably when I was like 7 or something like that. But let me see if I can give y'all a sneak peek on the video of when we went there. You know, it was me and my friend Maya, one of my old co-workers back in my employment days, where we went, and we used to always travel when we were working at healthcare and things like that. So this was pretty cool. And I'm trying to find one of my videos from this. I mean, it was really straightforward. It was funny because the horses had their own personalities. So they would walk super, super slow until the guide would come up. So this is out in Puerto Rico. I don't have any audio on here right now, but I need to learn how to tilt down my DJI action. I like it higher up so I can feel if it falls. I need to drop it down some more. But it was very, very beautiful there. And actually, that's the wrong video. Let me get the other one. It was... No. Yeah, see, I had the video camera was too high. Yeah, which one is it? Yeah, it was like in the brush and very interesting. But I would highly recommend going there. That was one of the guides there. I wish we had did the ATVs because that's what was going by right there. It was really fun. Really, really fun. Looking at doing some more other stuff. Weather was beautiful there. It went from 33 degrees here in Richmond. When we got there, it was like 82. So, yes, Lord. But I would say, Sean, try it out, man. It was fun. It was fun. Let me see. Yeah, we're still. It's a process. It's going to be quite a while. I had 12 websites that were all gone down. One I donated to a church. So it was one person who was doing it. So pretty much they recommend setting a firewall on the website, and it's actively scanning for SQL injections to the database and monitoring those. Also, because that's the thing, people asked if I had backups. Yes, I did have backups, but it compromised the integrity of the backup. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go to our next question here. Soul Winner says, HDMI signal is not coming to A10 Mini. Okay, I need a little more detail of that. What is it connected to? What is it coming from? What type of device is connected to the ATEM? Give me a little bit more detail so I can help you with that. Joshua, it sounds like you have a big job at Signs and Wonders Church. What equipment are you going to use in the live stream setup? Why do you want to use the X32 sound console instead of the Persona 16 and 24? Mainly, I'm going with the X32 because that's what I'm comfortable with. I don't want to try the Personas out of the blue without me having extensive use of using it. The Personas 24 is what Reconciliation has, and I just haven't had enough time to play around with that. I don't recommend and try anything with stuff that I have not tried before. The live streaming setup is simple. I did their stuff originally when they had the building that they were renting, and I actually had upgraded a computer that they have to do the live streaming. And they had an ATEM television studio, the original one. But since then, stuff has gotten better. So the system, I built them a Ryzen 7 5700G for presentation, but it can live stream if need be, because that's what they're used to. All their staff has kind of changed, so they're starting fresh. So I'm using the A10 Mini Extreme that will give them a console right in front of them and will remove the need of another computer, because we have one computer for OBS, another one for presentation. We shrunk that down that the ATEM handles everything, joystick that they already had, but we expanded it to more cameras, a digital sound system because they had an old analog system, and we're going to give more control, and it's a bigger space, so we have to be able to control that. And so technically, can they stream through OBS? Yes, they can. But the idea is I'm going to push them towards live streaming with the ATEM Mini Extreme instead, and having OBS as a failover if need be, or OBS can go to somewhere completely different and is connected to that system that can go Zoom, conference calls, whatever. That's their setup that they have right now. So hopefully that helps. And follow-up question. What are your thoughts on the Personas digital live streaming sound console? I have not used it, so I really don't know yet. Mr. Montgomery, hello, sir. How you doing? For y'all that don't know, he actually ran sound and helped us when I was in show choir in high school. So appreciate you stopping by, sir. Hope you're doing well. Question here. How can I add a custom stream key to the ATEM Mini Extreme? What I did was to edit the XML file and put in the key where it would go, but I'm not seeing what quality is outputting. Okay, that's a little bit different. You wouldn't put the streaming key inside the XML. All you would be putting in is the server, what type of quality settings that you want, as well as the destination of where you're going to. The streaming key is going to be locked inside the interface of the ATEM. So that's where you would copy that over. So like, for example, which I realized I didn't have my ATEM software open. Let me bring this over here. So if we do that, see inside of here, let me get rid of the comment. When you're adding stuff, you're going to be doing this, and that's an old key, so we need to get rid of that. But what's going to happen is when you modify the XML, this is what it's going to do. It's going to add a new entry here. And then the streaming key will be pasted in here. Now, if you want it to be saved, like I had mine when I was doing that test stream key, you would just put it in here, and then you would come up here to let me move it down to the bottom, get out the way. You would come up here to save startup state. So anything that was here would be maintained when it's turned off and turned back on. That's what that would do. I have a video that talks about how to edit that XML, and I had a link that was going to my old website. So I'm gonna have to dig that back up and get it somewhere. See, this is the little stuff. I got to go back through all the videos and change all the links and everything like that. But it's fairly straightforward. There, follow the video that I have. I think I have the video talks in detail how to do it. Because I mean, one of the ways you could do it is, where's it at? Trying to think. Where is it? Let's see. Was it app data? And we're going to look for Black Magic. No, that's not it. Was it program data? Trying to remember where exactly it was. Program data. What is this? Oh, that's for Kindle. And just to let y'all know, the book is still coming, folks. It is. As you can see, all these fun adventures we have is throwing my stuff off. Where is it at? There's a file in here that needs to be edited that gives you the XML, a sample of the XML. I need to dig it back up, but there is a simple way to do that. But again, it does not store the key. Hopefully that answers your question. Francisco, what is going on? Hey, I tried to give you a call the other day, sir. Want to catch back up with you. I'm going to be up in Baltimore tomorrow and Sunday in that area. Let's see, question here. I'm assuming you mean which computers do you recommend for churches that are streaming with vMix, because we are using a laptop running Intel i7 but a poor graphics card? Honestly, I stick with the AMD stuff mainly. I've been using the 5 series, the Ryzen 5 5600G and 5700G, because it has a good graphics card built in on the chip, and that is what I'm actually using right over here to do what we're doing right now, vMix. So, like, for example, I did have it on here, so you can see the loop of a loop. This is what I'm running right now, which is vMix that is running on a Ryzen 7 5700, I think. It was a processor that Mr. Clarence wasn't using anymore, and he gifted it to me, which I really appreciate. That's what that system is running right now. And my 3700X is now in another system that's on the floor right behind me that I built for like burning DVDs, which that's probably going to be my project system where I can try different stuff. So, because I did do a post asking y'all what presentation software that y'all are using, so I'm probably going to use that system up for that, so it doesn't really affect anything else. JoJo would like to know, will your new site be member-based like Modern Media Ministry site? Will you have training on it? Well, see, the Modern Media Ministry website honestly was just a link that was going to my Teachable link. So that's going to be rebuilt. That's still going to work. That's just a name, and it was a redirect. That's where I hold classes, where I'm going to do stuff. So that's going to still be maintained. My new site, because I had AJaytheCEO, which was nothing, because people were looking up that name. I bought that URL. So, and I use that as kind of like a resume, a portfolio of who I am. But what I'm going to do is the new site, which is just going to be ajhomes.com. Both of them are just going to point to the same thing, and it's going to be the exact same thing. It's not going to be two separate websites. All of my store stuff, I was using Dropbox and a link to sell everything that way. I'm just probably going to move everything, my OBS bundle, all digital assets that I sell, everything like that, merch, is going to be just on a fully dedicated page, probably maintained with Squarespace. Even though I use WooCommerce and all this other stuff, it's just one of those things that I need to free up what I'm doing. And to be quite honest, I'm getting ready to do a temporary contract for hire type of position for my company, to where the website stuff, my personal stuff, I want to offload that, because I just don't have the time. This hit at the worst possible time because I have all these projects, and then I don't have time to rebuild my stuff. But right now, my company, my business, AJay the CEO, there's no web face at all. So I'm rushing in between everything to keep that maintained. But I am looking at bringing on somebody as a contractor to do that, or hire somebody to maintain and do that stuff. Because I used to do church websites. I just don't have the time to do it anymore. So if any of y'all are interested, y'all can always hit me up at questions@ajayhomes.com. You know, we're going to vet to make sure, because when I'm the type of person, the type of boss that I am, employer that I am, I don't micromanage. I give you a time, I give you a date when something is done. I don't bother you until it's time for it to be delivered. That's how I roll. So let me know if y'all are interested. Back here, I sent the video and audio to the multi-stream, and the platform receives the output, but the quality is very low, especially the audio. Need some more detail. So you're saying you're going to, okay, if the quality of the audio is low, you need to look at the bit rate that's ingrained inside of your XML. So like, for example, if I come back over here to my ATEM, inside of here, there are streaming quality settings. There are numbers associated with that, kilobits per second. You might want to adjust that if your quality is low. That's what I would probably recommend. Most likely, if you don't have a setting in there, it's probably no settings at all, and that's the reason why you're having a quality issue. Josh, what is going on? Norm here. If presenter is feeding lower thirds into the ATEM Mini Extreme and the stream is going to YouTube from the ATEM Mini Extreme, what do you need OBS to do? You really don't need OBS at all. I mean, you could use OBS if you are not wanting to pay for like a restream service. OBS would just be live streaming to a completely different platform like Facebook, Twitch, anything like that. That's what you would use OBS for if you were using it. Back to JoJo. What camcorders give the same quality visuals as DSLR? The 30-minute limit in DSLRs are annoying, but I love quality picture. I mean, it all depends. Like, camcorders, it all depends. Like right now, this is the Canon G50 right now. I'm using a Pocket Cinema camera 4K right here. This is the Canon G50, which honestly I think looks very, very good. But I mean, you're not going to get the same type of thing because it's a lens. Now, if you were really, really, really looking for that, I would go with something almost like the Pocket Cinema camera if you're trying to do something like that, or kind of like the studio camera back here. And you see my massive workstations of everything I got here. That camera would work great. And you can do different changeable lenses and everything like that if you really wanted to. That's all. Like, you see the Iron Man helmet my daughter gave me out of Legos that we put together. But that's what I would recommend. I don't like DSLRs because, first off, the limit, then those cameras are, you have to have somebody manned to do it, to the adjustments, then the cabling that goes from them. I mean, I have my own pros and cons for each one, but that's what I would think. I like the Canon G50. Any of these 4K camcorders, the Canons especially, are great from an image quality. Are they going to be on par with a DSLR? No, but it all depends. I personally just don't like DSLR cameras for a church live stream. Now, if you're doing something at home and a Bible study or something like that, yeah, that's great. But to have a DSLR and multiple ones for people to do, I just don't like that. That's just me. Reverend Richard, I have to tell you, thank you. Your consultation and suggestion recommendations were implemented to set up our modern media ministry from scratch, and now we are carrying the gospel in high quality. Well, I'm glad it helped. Thank you, thank you. And we want to get you to drop in, but until we have to add our church number to the number of churches you have helped their amount. Hey, well, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mr. Clarence wants to know, am I going to NAB on April 23rd? No. I would say no right now. I got way too many projects. I do want to go. Right now, I'm just thinking no. Right now, that's what I'm thinking. I saw that message, especially after it got canceled last year. I want to. I really, really want to, but not this time. Maybe next year. Preacher Man here saying, loving the system you built for our ministry. Awesome. Well, I'm glad it's helping you. Robert Moore would like to know, any experience using the Black Magic Design Smart Video Hub you could share? Yes, I used that at Good Shepherd Baptist Church. It is a beast. Just imagine it's a smart video matrix. So you have 12 in, 12 out, 20 in, 20 out, 40 in, 40 out, 80 in, 80 out, that every single input will go into it and every output will go to it. So it's not as quickly changeable as the ATEM, but if you have massive distribution, instead of running everything into a splitter, you can run everything into this hub, and then the hub over the network, you can say, hey, these 5 TVs, take input number 1, which is the ATEM's program out, send it to. Oh, you have a TV in the entrance of your church. You got multiple ones. You could send a line into that smart video hub that's playing just announcements. You can send it to those TVs at a press of a button. I really, really like it. If I had it to do again, I would run all of the stuff, all the TVs at my church into one and have everything. So at a press of a button, you can say this TV will show, this projector will show this. It can do the multi-view. You can have any type of control with it. Well, I don't think it's a downside, but just realize everything has to be SDI coming in and SDI coming out. So it might get a little pricey if you have to convert it back to HDMI, whatever it's going to. But I really think it's great. I would say check out that Good Shepherd video, which was at least 2 years ago. And it depends. Shiloh, we might be getting one and playing around with that. And maybe if I had some extra play money, maybe I might order one. I ain't got no use for it here. Well, I don't know. Maybe kind of I do. If I get a 12. Oh, well. But it's good. It's an intelligent, way smarter splitter that you could have multiple inputs to, which I think is really cool. Polar Star Enterprises. Hello from Canada. Does the Extreme allow you multiple streams? ATEM Mini Pro doesn't, and I am using OBS to add a second stream. It doesn't, but the Pro and the Extreme kind of do. If you have it connected to another computer over USB, you can do it that way. But independent streams that the ATEM will send to 2 different places without a service like Restream, no, it cannot do that. I wish they would, but no, it currently cannot do that. J-Style 3, have you ever tried SMT AV PTZ cameras? I would like to add it to in our congregation as a second. Yes, I used those in a bunch of installs. I installed 5 of them at Community Independent Methodist Church. That's what they have. One on the left, right, the front, the back, as well as the baptism. So 5 of them. Yeah, great cameras. Great cameras. Robert wants to know, is vMix similar to Proclaim and ProPresenter? No, vMix is more like a paid OBS that has a lot of features that OBS requires plugins. vMix does that there. That's what you're seeing, what's bringing up these chats and all this other stuff. That's all vMix that's doing that. And I would have thought these LEDs are putting out some heat. So I keep turning my fan on and off because I'm getting warm. Back to Sean. Many things are equally achievable on the Personas and Behringer. The difference is how you get to certain functions and the names of those functions. Many say that the build quality is better. I might have to play around with that, but like I said, I need to be in a situation where I have access to play around with it, because I'm not going to have anybody just be my guinea pig on trying it out. So I don't doubt y'all. I just need to have a reason to get one. Back to J-Style 3. We used to start with OBS, but recently we switched to vMix, never going back. Understood. Don, what is going on, sir? Mike, thanks for stopping by. We'll have to watch the replay later. Okay. NAB is National Association of Broadcasters. It's a conference where they talk about new products, all this other stuff like that. Like, I really want to go, but let's see. Let me pull it up so y'all can see all the fun stuff about this. I was supposed to go, but then it got canceled because of COVID. So right now, here it is, where it's the 23rd through the 27th. I don't even know if my schedule will allow me to do that. Let me open up another browser on the side so I can see what my calendar is around that time. And that's next month too. That's the 23rd to the 27th. That's the week after Easter. I mean, it's possible. It really is. But let me add some extra info here. Let's see what the going rate is for some flights. Actually, I do have a credit from last year. I might be able to get my flight for free. I don't know. You never know. I might need to see. But registration information. Show conference pass. Claude, have mercy. Maybe did I become a member? I think I did. But this will give you examples, the conference sessions from the floor. I might. I don't know. I really don't know, folks. I'm going to look on my calendar because I actually have a credit from last year where my flight was canceled. And I want to see if I can use that. And then I don't have to pay for my flight. Then you never know. I just might try and go. Credits. I have one credit. I'm trying to see if I can use this real quick. But yeah, NAB is, the intention was for me to go there to talk about what's all the new equipment that can be used from a ministry standpoint, because they're talking about like Blackmagic is there, PTZ Optics is going to be there, Ada Imaging is going to be there. A lot of the equipment that we've been using is going to be available in those locations. So that's the 22nd through the 27th. Trying to see if I have some flights available with the credit from the trip last year that got canceled. And I have to use it up until the 10th. If I can get this and they don't have any flights. They don't have any flights from Richmond there, because I had a credit with JetBlue. So that's why I'm trying to use it. But anyway, we'll come back and search for that later. But let me get to y'all's questions here. Let's see. DSLRs are much better than any PTZ will ever be. My 6-year-old Sony is far better quality than the PTZ optics. 3 times the price, but still PTZ is just more convenient. Yeah. Now I'm wondering if, yes, I understand from a quality standpoint, but from a usability standpoint, are you just placing it there, or you have somebody set there to actually do the zooming and out? Do you have a remote that can handle that, or is it just a static shot? How are you using that? That's what I would like to know, because I think a lot of times when people, I've seen that they've been recommending those DSLR cameras, I don't see anybody using them, as in, you know, maybe following somebody left and right, but doing a lot of zooming in and out and changing. That's like you need somebody manned on each camera to do that. Or like back in the day when we used to have to run back and forth between all our cameras and adjust them individually, which was a pain. Fingers was saying, installing your prescribed equipment this weekend. Very excited. Awesome. Let me know how it turns out. Jay Style was also saying the main problem with OBS is not usability, but reliability. So many times it has failed, froze, or just cannot see ATEM. Good for amateur usage, not for pro use. I would honestly have to disagree a little bit. I haven't had reliability with OBS. Now, if you try to get it to run and do a lot on underpowered equipment, that's when I've seen that. Again, I don't know what your setup is. I have not had that issue with OBS on my systems or even at my church. And we've been using OBS there for at least 5 years, and I have not seen that. The only thing I have seen is when Microsoft will push out an update that kind of messed up the drivers and kind of caused some issues with OBS, but it wasn't OBS, but we'll see. Back to JoJo again. Last year, I watched your vision of hybrid church service. It was mind-blowing. My church is looking to do something like that too. Awesome. Awesome. And also, do you have any suggestions or guidance on designing that setup, or better yet, a design walkthrough video, aka tutorial? I'm actually in the works with working with another ministry because I need some space, and I'm looking at renting some space at this church, and we're looking at doing an agreement that they want to have a studio, but it was going to be my studio and it was going to be shared. So at a lower rate of monthly rent, I was going to build out the studio so I can have a bigger space for my YouTube and podcasts and all this other stuff, workspace for designing and setting up stuff. But when I'm not using it, it would be available for the ministry to use for recordings as well too. I'm still waiting to hear back from that. That would be the better walkthrough, because that would be an actual implementation of me being able to do that. The only next closer thing is going to be when I get a house and I set that same spot up myself. So as of right now, I currently don't have a video to do something like that. Let's see. If y'all don't mind, folks, go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps the what they say, the algorithms know about everything that we're doing here. So I really appreciate that. And I cannot find any flights to Las Vegas. So I don't know. I got this credit, but I'm not gonna be able to use it. Question is, what microphones would you recommend for audience sound? Honestly, this is a part of some of the stuff I am working on as well too. I know Shure, there was a couple of them that I want to look at. Where is it at? I love Rode. So there was a couple of mics that I really wanted to play around with. They got the Video Mic Go 2. See, I'm out of the loop. They got a bunch of new stuff out here that I haven't been. See, that's the thing. It's always changing. Oh, and they got a new lavalier. I definitely need to get a new lavalier because mine is all crushed up. But anyway, let's see. We're looking at microphones live. And there were some of these condenser mics. I've heard, I forgot who told me, they actually use these for setup for audience sound. I want to play around with them to see if they're good for this. But directly, I haven't been able to implement anything like that. I want to implement something like that at Antioch, but we'll see. So directly, I can't really give you a recommendation because I really don't know. I'm still kind of learning that myself. Also want to know, am I coming to Greenville, South Carolina? I live just to help installs. I don't have anything right now in South Carolina, but like I said, I am more than open to getting some assistance when I'm in certain areas. So I will let you know. When I get my site back up, I had a map showing where I was going to be. So maybe I'll try and throw something together like that so y'all can know, and maybe we can have a point of contact and stuff like that. Rodney, I've been using OBS for a year and it has never failed. I've had cameras, capture cards fail during service, but OBS keeps running. Yeah, I think it's a now again, I'm not gonna put it past that I have seen OBS have some issues. It just hasn't been with me. So yeah, that would be cool. And Rodney also wants to know, what are the best mics to pick up a choir? The ones we have turned, when turned up, cause feedback. I would be concerned about that. Check the gain on those mics first if you're getting some noise. And then there's some hanging mics. I think they're Shure ones. I can't remember the names of them because most of them I haven't had to install these from scratch. Most of the time they've already been mics that are there and just need to be recalibrated. What is it? Sure. I forgot the exact name for them. Yeah, it was no, that's a gooseneck. That's not those. The MX202Ws. I think that's what they're called. Let me cut over here. So something like this. Is something similar. I think those are individual. I wish they would show the connector, but something like these are the ones that are typically I've seen being used. And I'm sorry, the comment was in the way. Something like this. But I don't know. I want to play with those Rhodes just to see how they're working, because I might want to play around with those and use those as mics when I'm doing the game show, because Bible Trivia is still going to be on. It might not be called Bible Trivia because I'm waiting. I haven't heard back from a couple of ministries I talked to, but we're still going to do something. But that makes me think I would love to have something like that to try to get the audience if we have people in there to do it. Back to Robert here. Would you say mounting PTZs are more convenient when it comes to managing cables, removing tripods, and saving space, or two camcorder stands seem to take up quite a bit of space, smaller church? Honestly, hanging the PTZs on the wall and running the cables is so much easier because, I mean, they're not heavy. So, I mean, you can just mount these things on the wall with just like drywall anchors and screws, or just screw them right into a stud and it comes right out. And it's not a hassle. I like doing that because then once you set it, it's almost like a set it and forget it. It's not like you have to break it down every Sunday. Plus you put it up high enough that people don't have to mess with it. That's just me. I really like yes, the quality is not as good, but from a convenience in using it. Again, I moved to PTZs because we wanted to have the same quality and visual output like we had with 5 cameras, but we didn't have the staff that ran it anymore. So we were able to replace those 5 cameras with 2 PTZs, and we get the same functionality, actually better functionality, because when we had the 5 cameras, they were all in the back of the church, locked to a certain position. And we didn't have a front facing camera at all. So that's why I like this setup here. Even with a smaller ministry, you can just put one PTZ on that back wall and it'll cover everything. And then most of the time, the next thing that they do is put a front camera. So it gives you a lot of space to play around with. John would like to know, have you used or investigated Marshall PTZ cameras? Wonder how the image quality compares to this. Their PTZs? No, I have not. They were, at the time when we were looking, they were more expensive. So that's why I was stuck at a certain budget, which was mainly my wallet, because I was donating the stuff originally. I would love to try them out. Need to get some more vendors to send me some stuff to try it out. I think that's the reason why maybe I wanted to try NAB. Now that y'all put that in my head, I need to see if I can see what the going rate of prices of going there would be. We started using OBS from 2018. Then we added vMix about a year now because of the features that vMix has. But up to this day, we still use OBS because we use OBS Ninja for the camera at the keyboard. Cool. Back to John. How do you like the Allen Eve QU series versus the Behringer? Is one easier to learn, more reliable? I have not really messed with the Allen Heath directly. I think Spring Creek uses that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, most of these boards are exactly the same, as long as the terms might be called something different. But for the most part, I mean, they're pretty the same. It's just the feature set, if there's any significant difference, is what you really need to look out for. Sorry, I'm looking up flights at the same time while we're doing this, just to see if I can see how much it's going for LA. I mean, not LA, for Las Vegas, excuse me. Gordon here. Greetings from, now, do you pronounce it Arkansas or Arkansas? Which one? Because I know it's a big fight between it. AJ, do you use NDI in any of your installs? I personally don't, unless it's being asked for. I'm old school. I like a wired connection there. Can it work? Yes. I personally just don't do it unless somebody specifically asks for it. Back to Reverend Richard. PTZs are so user-friendly for our media volunteers. Most can be in the sound room location or location they can control your whole media service. We have to think of your media team. Yeah, I have to agree. That's the other reason why I used it. And who is sending me? Sorry. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm sorry. My mind just kind of went somewhere here. Paul. Hey, AJ, I saw your recent video regarding about the security surveillance cameras changed wire. You did that for them to monitor their surveillance. Yeah, originally we just split the signal and we're going to run it back just so it could be in a monitor so that they can see it, because the monitor where they had the security set up, no one is there during service, so no one can monitor any of the cameras. If I had my way and the cameras were available, I would go with the Unify stuff, because then you don't need a monitor. You can just pull it up on a web page or I say Unify, but I mean, a lot of the security cameras are really old systems. But I mean, having to have a physical connection when it can be hooked up to a web page or something like that, and you can see it, or an app, I think honestly, I would prefer it to be something like that. Wow, there's a flight going from here to Las Vegas, but it has a 15-hour layover. It leaves from here, goes to Fort Lauderdale, then it's a 7-hour layover. So I leave here at 10, get to Fort Lauderdale at 1, and then the flight from Fort Lauderdale to Las Vegas isn't until 9 o'clock that night. No. And absolutely no. Here's another one that leaves. See, I don't understand. JetBlue said they didn't have a flight, and JetBlue's in the list. That's the 22nd. All right, I'm going to look up this NAB stuff, because I have this credit, and if I don't use it, I lose it. So I'm going to see about that. Plus giving y'all some time for other stuff. All right, next question. Let's see. I've been using the ATEM Mini Pro and noticed while streaming there's a constant high static from sound. Have you had any ideas? How are you having your sound coming in? If you're coming from a mixer, make sure your audio is set to line. And that would be the first thing I would check. And then the second thing I would check, have you tried different wires from your audio? Are you getting the same thing? Pat, I just got my first streaming setup with I've got my first streaming setup. What typical time frame does it take to set that up, or does it vary? Are you saying that you have a streaming engagement that you're going to do outside of church? Let me make sure I'm not missing what you're saying. Sean was asking me, do I have any thoughts on the EarTech Ultralight comms? Not directly. I think I was looking at those, but then thankfully Hollyland sent me something to review, so we ended up using that. Let me see. That's the EarTech Ultralight. Yeah, that's the exact ones I was looking at. Sean, right here, these ones, I was actually looking at these originally. Honestly, if Hollyland hadn't sent me those, I would have actually gone with these. Ooh, excuse me. So, I mean, it's so much good gear out there that the more y'all keep saying it, man, I might have to go to NAB so that way we can see what's coming around the pipe for stuff from a ministry standpoint. I don't understand why they're saying they don't have flights available. JetBlue says they don't have flights available, but when I do the search, they do have them. Anyway, let's see what else. Paul, AJ, do you know if I can stream 1080p 60 but record in 4K in vMix? We use the video to upload. You should be able to do that. Stream at 1080, but then record. Yes, you should. You would set external output, and you can do it that way. Or just the recording when you record it, you should be able to. Darius, I see that Ada Imaging is coming out with a PTZ NDI X18, a very compact 18X PTZ for $795 with the NDI license. The only thing missing one, it seems to be SDI output. It may be worth a look. Yeah, I want to reach out to them and ask. Actually, let me email them now and see if I can. I had a point of contact there. I want to see if maybe I can get a review for them. See, I got all the stuff I need to remember. Make notes of these things. Man, I need to find my point of contact for Ada Imaging because I had one there. I just don't know where it is. I need to reach out. Yeah, because they sent me a couple of cameras to give away. And I need to find that point of contact. I want to see if I can do a review of those cameras because I am interested. I saw that as well too. I thought it might be a good option. John, if you like outdoor stuff and have time, check out Red Rock Canyon and Valley of Fire. Mount Carlston is nice too. I rented a mountain bike out there last December and rode. Awesome. I would check that out. Wait a minute, and that's a duplicate post. Okay, setting up their streaming service for a sister church. Well, it all depends. Sometimes it can take me an hour, 2 hours. I mean, it all depends. Or it might take me less. It really all depends on how comfortable you are with their setup or the equipment that you're using. Let me see. How long have we been going for, folks? We went right at an hour. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back with do some more stuff, folks. And let me try some new stuff because I had to change up my stuff here. I haven't been shouting out my Patreon supporters and YouTube members like I should because I can't do this without them. So I really appreciate all. know why it played that intro music in the background. So hold on one second. But anyway, I want to thank them. Their names were on the screen just now. I don't know why that played that audio for whatever reason. vMix. But thank y'all so much. And if you like what we're doing here, really consider, you may want to consider supporting us on Patreon. You can do that at patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below in this video. No matter which way you do it, folks, you're helping us train media ministries all over the world. Thank y'all so much. If no one has ever told you, thank you so much for all the hard work that you're doing in your media ministry. I might not be at your local church, but what you're doing is helping us, the body as a whole. So I appreciate it. Hopefully the little stuff I do from videos and stuff makes your journey in understanding and expanding your media ministry that much easier. Be on the lookout for a bunch of videos we're going to be doing, starting Abundant Life Church of Christ install Tuesday. I'm going to be back at Signs and Wonders on Monday. Their cameras are going to be in today and tomorrow, so I'm going to hang those. We got a bunch of other cabling, got their mics in. I might look at moving their mics over to actually the mics are not going to be delivered till the 10th of March. So we'll have some more setups to play with, but their whole sound system, for Abundant Life, is going to be installed next week. We got a lift so we can get up in the air and pull cables for all their 4 SMT AV cameras. So the person who was asking, that's what's being installed there. We're going to have that all wired up and being able to do that. And got some other videos, like I said, talking about the pros and cons of different cameras for your church ministry. Hopefully I can get that today. I'm going to be at Epworth United Methodist for additional training this Saturday and Sunday. I was supposed to catch up with somebody else who's in Baltimore. I haven't heard back from them about that, for me to stop by their ministry while I'm up there. We'll see how that goes. And I'm going to be back at Reconciliation this afternoon to try and fix their audio issue that they're having with their personas going to their ATEM. They have a buzz. I think it's with the cable that they ran, whoever ran it originally, into the back. I'm just going to replace that. I got some other stuff, a couple of cables to run there for a dedicated audio line for the live stream. So hopefully we can get them taken care of. The TV downstairs is still a problem because of how they wired it. I got to be a little bit more destructive on how to get a new cable down there. Mainly it's going to be a hole in the floor. I just need to line it up so I can get there properly. But I have conduit that we can take care of the cable in pastor's office, and they need to be getting a new TV in that area. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate it. And wait a minute, we got a couple last few questions here. I said no sound. It sounds like I can hear it fine here. Oh no, somebody was saying no sound. I don't know. Let me get these last 4, and then we're gonna be out here, folks. I'm planning to purchase BTC optics cameras, but I read somewhere that the wall mount brackets are not sturdy enough for their relatively heavy camera, and it does not help with vibration. Any thoughts? Honestly, the mounts that I get are almost like a slab of metal. And these are the ones that I've recently got that I just put on Signs and Wonders. These ones right here. They say they're not available, but they're all exactly the same. So any of these, like this one is the exact same thing. You know, you could get something like that. That is what I've used as well. Got the white ones for the SMT. I've used the same ones for our PTZ optics that we have at my home church, and they work perfectly fine. I will put a link for that down below for that. PTZ wall mount. What else? Let's see. So when you asked that question, I was asking for a follow-up because I didn't understand your setup. What's the reason for not getting a HDMI signal to the ATEM? I was saying originally, I need to know more of your setup. What is coming from your HDMI? What is it on the other end? What type of camera? What type of video? What's your source? I need to know that first. The reason why it wouldn't get a signal is maybe it's not being outputted. Maybe it's a bad cable. Have you tried it on every single HDMI in? But I need some more info on that. Paul also wants to know, this last one, can any SDI to HDMI converter support any? I would say no, because some of the lower quality ones, I've had issues. And honestly, the Black Magic ones are not that expensive in the grand scheme of things. They're like $55. I've never had any issues with those. I've had issues with mixing and matching, just like at Greater Faith. Yeah, Greater Faith, they had some SDI converters that would not work with the Black Magics because they were doing a different type of signal. Once I replaced it, everything worked perfectly fine. I was still using the original splitter that they did. It worked, but I don't know. I was going to say it doesn't work directly, but anyway, folks, thank y'all so much. I'm still going to be building out, trying to fix everything that's going on with the websites and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for a video of me talking about in depth of what's needed to protect your website while we protect my church's website as well. So y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is. And remember, if you have any other questions, you can always email me at questions@ajayhomes.com. So we'll be seeing y'all later, folks. Have a good one. Bye.